So one of the things that's great about LiveViewGolf is it allows you to really practice independently. For me right now, I'm working on staying on plane. For me, it's always been staying on plane. So one of the great things about LiveViewGolf is I'm here on the driving range. I'm all by myself. I've got my camera set up already. Camera's downline. I've got it synced up to my tablet, which is a Samsung Galaxy Tab 2. This device is actually about 4 years old, and it's powerful enough to both run the LiveViewGolf app and actually record, do a screen capture at the same time. So our app doesn't use a whole lot of processing power, and it'll be compatible with a lot of older devices to allow you to use maybe an old phone or an old tablet you have lying around and put it to good use to practice your golf swing. The first thing people ask is, well, how do I draw the lines? Well, what's really nice is LiveViewGolf allows you to practice independently by getting your own stance lines, your own plane lines. And the way we do that is we just set up to the ball. And the other thing that's great about this is, I can actually start a recording just using a tap of my club. I don't have to reach down every time. So there, I started recording. And what you want to do is you want to take your setup. You want to set up to the ball as if you're getting ready to strike it. And you just record your setup. And once you've got your setup recorded, you can use that setup to then draw in your plane lines. Your plane lines typically run straight through the shaft. So all I do is I fast forward to the proper spot on the recording, draw a plane line right there. Let's make it more precise. Let's go straight through the shaft. And some people like to draw a secondary plane line, which is a plane shift, which runs through the ball also and then goes through your shoulder. And so somewhere between the shoulder and the shaft line is where your club should stay on the backswing. So now that I have this plane line, I can go back into live mode. And live mode now has the lines that we drew in it, which we're going to use now for our practice. So when I practice, I think of practicing as two different phases. There's what I call the slow swing and the fast swing. The slow swing are things that we can actually use the live view to actually just actively check our takeaway. So one of the things that I used to do for a long time was I would actually come away under the plane line immediately at takeaway. And this took me so long to correct because to me, I thought, here, look, I'm on top of the shaft, the toe line, right in front of my toes. But actually, if you look at the live view camera, I'm actually already under the plane. So the only way I figured out how to get this correct is by watching my live view camera, and I realized I have to keep the club a little bit more in front of me. And again, this is not one of those things you realize until you actually watch yourself on the live view to see what the club is doing versus what you think you're doing. So this is actually a on-plane takeaway, and this is not, even though it feels like it is. So this is real, this is the feel, and this is real, okay? So now once I practice the slow movements, I know I can get onto the plane line correctly every single time. Now the second part is getting the fast movements. The fast movements are a little bit harder because they happen so fast. In order to be able to capture it, you need to rely on the video playback to check to see that the feeling that you're getting actually matches what you're trying to do. So in my case, somewhere near the top, when I swing fast, this club will sometimes lay off and get flat. And again, this is one of those things you can't really check because if you look at yourself, a lot of times you see these takeaways and they're these perfect takeaways and you think you're doing everything right, but then as soon as things go fast, you lose it. And so the only thing you can do is just record yourself over and over and over again to make sure that the feeling that you're trying to generate is actually the correct swing plane. And again, this is something you can do with other apps, but it's just a lot harder if you're trying to do it with an iPhone and having your buddy stand behind you recording you. So this is where LiveViewGolf is really helpful in these fast recordings, where I can now just launch a recording. Again, I don't have to pick up my iPad or anything like that. and I'm just gonna let it run. The maximum record time that I've set right now is 5 minutes. It can go for as long as 10 minutes. If you don't want to have large file sizes, you can try and cut it down to 3 minutes. But all I do is hit a couple balls and try and feel what I want to feel as I'm hitting the ball. And when I get what I think is a good one, I'm going to go back and play it back in slow motion to make sure that what I thought was a good swing really is a good swing. And if it's not, then I need to go back and figure out a different feel to work towards in order to be able to get consistently on plane the way I'm trying to get to. Okay, so I've got the recording running and you can see that it's just going, which is kind of nice. I don't have to worry about a timer or anything like that that starts running from the moment that I hit start. That felt pretty good, but let me go one more. And again, I can just keep running this until I find something that feels really good. And when I have that feeling, I just immediately check it to make sure that that swing feel that I thought was the correct swing feel is in fact the right swing feel. So let me take a look at that second swing, because what happened was I could feel myself on the second swing. When I started, I got to the top and I realized that I was a little bit flat. So there's the first swing, and then here comes the second swing. So there's the takeaway for the second swing. So that's when I stopped and I thought, oh yeah, you see right there? That's a layoff position. The club is actually at a different angle than the lines that I want. So I don't know if you can see that. So this is a layoff position, so that's definitely not on plane. So I caught that, and so then I thought, okay, I want to make sure I do that right. And so then we worked on that a couple more swings to get the correct feeling. And this is how you can analyze your swing. So actually, if you look at this right now, even here I'm still inside on the takeaway, which is not what I want. And again, it's one of those things where you think you're doing it, but until you actually analyze in slow motion, you can't see it. But the beauty of LiveViewGolf is you can just continue to record as much as you want to make sure that you are actually getting the swing that you're looking for. And you just keep checking yourself to make sure that you're practicing correctly. And that is how I practice independently with LiveViewGolf.